Hi, my name is Urszula. I am a member of Polish Pharmaceutical Students Association. Today, I'm going to bring you closer to the topic of veganism and vegetarianism, which has recently happened to be very close to me. I feel that nowadays vegan lifestyle is becoming more and more popular, especially among millennials. We are constantly hearing about climate change, and I've noticed that because of it, we are willing to change our eating habits in order to help our planet. Dietary greenhouse gas emissions are now the area of interest of many researchers. We are seeking the solution to decrease this factor. According to Chatham House Institute, reducing global meat consumption will be critical to keeping global warming below the danger level of 2 degrees Celsius. This is one of the reasons why people consider changing their diet. Today, I'm going to discuss this topic with our guest, Martyna, who happens to be a vegetarian. So, hello, it is really good to hear you. How are you?
Hi, Ula. I'm great, thank you. And you?
I'm fine too, thanks. Could you tell me, please, how long have you been a vegetarian?
Actually, I'm a vegetarian my first year of studies, so it'll be like 5 years.
Oh, wow, and what made you change your diet?
Actually, it's a funny story because it was a bet, and I bet with my friend that I will manage to give up meat for 1 month. And I used to eat a lot of meat in the past, and honestly, I didn't think I will make it. But it turned out to be really funny for me, and I really like it. So after this month, when I won the bet, I decided not to come back to meat again, and I saw a big difference in how I felt. And just this diet works for me, so that's why I decided to become a vegetarian.
Yeah, and did your friend decided to become a vegetarian too?
Actually not. Actually, he's consuming a lot of amount of meat right now. I'm trying to change it and convinced him to try another diet, but he's so stubborn.
Yeah, I get it. And you said that you felt different or you feel different right now. So do you think that the plant-based diet is healthy or healthier than the regular one?
Yes, I think it's healthy. Like I told you before, I felt better, so it worked for me. And I feel good after give up meat, but I think it requires a little bit more attention on what we put on our plate, and we should get to know a little bit of how to compose our diet, how to compose these meals actually. And I think we should prepare proper amount of this food, and that contains vitamin, proteins and nutrients, because on vegetarian diet you can get all these things through food, I think, but you need to know how, so that's important. And I think it's different for everybody, and for each of us it will work in a different way. So it's really important to listen to our bodies, and for me it's important to be in touch with my physician and to do some laboratory blood tests regularly, and I'm doing it and my results are fine, so I'm sure that this diet works for me and it's okay for me.
Well, it's awesome that you are in touch with your physician, that you didn't decide just to, do it because, maybe it wasn't as popular then, but I really appreciate that you take care of it.
Yes, I think it's really important to get to know the rules, and when you talk to somebody about that, who has a better knowledge sometimes than you are, it's easier to compose your meals. So I decided to visit the doctor, and I told that I am vegetarian, and it was okay, it's okay, but you need to stick to some rules, and if you will do that, it will be okay, but you need to do tests regularly, and that was important for the physician. And actually, I was surprised because this physician actually supported me in that, and it was okay, but you need to think about it, and you need to be aware that it requires some things from you, some sacrifices, that you need to put more attention on what you eat.
Wow, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And do you think that even small steps such as reducing amount of meat in everyday diet can have impact on the environment?
Yes, I think it's really important to start from ourselves. Actually, when it comes to me, after I cut meat out of my diet, I started to be more conscious and to be more aware of everything what's around me. And I started to do some things for the environment. So actually, I gave up on plastic bags, plastic bottles, and replaced it with some more ecological one. And I think that it is a process, and we start with small things and then we expand the idea. So if we start from ourselves, we can inspire others. That's the truth. And a lot of my friends actually was laughing at me when I became a vegetarian. And when I had this, do you know this drink through? How is it called? Drinking sipper, yeah, this sipper with me, always with me. When I was going to pub, to restaurants, to cinemas, I always have these things with me, my own, and they were laughing at me, And after some time, they were like so curious about my idea for not eating meat, to care, that they were like interested in the thing that I'm taking care of the environment. So they started to looking for more information, and now they are vegetarians or vegan even. They reduce the plastic they are using every day, and they are inspiring others with ideas. So I think it's a process. Like, we have to start from ourselves. We have to take care of what we are doing every day, and the idea will spread.
Wow, I'm sorry that I'm repeating all the time. That's awesome. But I think that it's true, that what you say during this conversation is that every little step is important and can lead us to doing something great for even whole world. That's awesome.
I think that it is a statement, we need to make a statement, for the industry, for the other people, that we want change. And if we do that, maybe other people will think about the changes also. And, it will go like a chain reaction or something.
Yes, I do. That our decisions can lead others to the better world.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I want to tell you, this is the same with restaurants, for example, that we are choosing the restaurant. Like, I think that we are more aware of that, and we are choosing the restaurants that, for example, have a tap water or that are environment friendly. So I think it is a statement for the industry that we are interested in things like that. So if we will choose wisely, people will have to move forward, like other things to do,
And now some kind of maybe twist in our conversation, because I've recently read about in vitro meat. Have you heard about it?
Yes, I think it's a kind of meat that people produce in lab, and they are using some technology to obtain animal's meat without killing an animal or something like that. And yes, I heard about it.
And do you think, because there are a lot of vegetarians who decided not to eat meat just because of this cruelty, and do you think that you or other vegetarians would like to eat this meat if it isn't produced by killing an animal?
I think it depends on what people like, I ate like Beyond Burger. It's like a burger, plant-based, that it's similar with taste to meat. And I didn't like it. Like, I bought it and I regret it because I don't like the taste, the smell of meat anymore. But I think that there are some people that decided to be a vegetarian or because of the environmental stuff. So for them, maybe this will be perfect solution because they just miss the taste of meat. I don't like it anymore, and I prefer to eat, when it comes to burgers, for example, the plant one. But really, I think that there are some people who miss this taste. So for them, for sure, it's like a really, really good option, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe there will be a little change of the course of our conversation, but it is said the food sector accounts for around 22% of total greenhouse gas emissions, largely from the conversion of forest into farmland. And I've heard that the Amazon rainforest wildfires, which were all over the news back in September 2019, were a way to acquire more place to continue food production. And what do you think about it?
I think it's terrible thing that we are destructing our planet because like we are living here right now and other generation will have to live on our planet too. So I think it's really important to take care of it, like to make the next generation will have the proper condition, that they won't suffer from lack of water, lack of food and all these things. And I think that when there isn't food, people and all these companies and all the food sector will produce it. So we need to do everything, use the food we have, like don't waste it. And I think that we should pay attention on what we have in our fridge and how much food we actually throw away, because people are consuming a lot of food. They are buying a lot of food and then they are not using it at all. And imagine that it's like that in one home, and then there's like another and another, and some restaurants when they are also buying and throwing away a lot of food. And I heard about the idea, I think it's like in Switzerland, but I'm not so sure, that some restaurants, when they are about to be closed, they have something like agreement with students that they can go there and take all the food they didn't use during the day, for example. And yeah, I think it's really great, and we should go in this direction, just to use food we have and not throw it away, just it will be super funny to go to restaurant and ask, hey, do you have any food left? Can I take something? Like it will allow us to save some money and it will be good for the environment.
Yes, because there are things that, for example, restaurants can make that are good for environment, as you said, with this situation and students. And there are things that people make without the awareness of consequences. For example, the wildfires that I said before, because the deforestation affects the greenhouse gas emissions, and it also disturbance in water management, which, by the way, we are going to discuss in our next episodes. So if you are interested, you can stay tuned, of course.
Okay, and I have a question for you. Do you have a lot of friends which are vegan or vegetarians?
To be honest, I know not more than 5 people who are vegan or vegetarian. But I have a lot of friends or acquaintances that don't like to eat meat every day. I mean that they like to eat meat maybe 2 times a week because they don't feel need to eat meat more regularly, and they are aware of the environmental effects too, but they don't have like enough maybe courage, or maybe their health condition don't let them to completely give up meat.
Yes, but it's super nice that they are trying to do something good, that they are reducing the number of, like, the amount of meat they are consuming every day. So it's super nice, and I think we should spread with this idea, really.
And Martyna, last but certainly not least, can you tell me 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages of being on a no-meat diet?
Okay, that's a tricky one. Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind is the disadvantages. I will start with that because, like, I think there is only one disadvantage for me, really, and a lot of advantages. So let's do this bad one first, and then we can focus on the good one. The bad thing is I really have to pay more attention of what I eat. I mean, not only ingredients, but for example, when I'm going to visit my grandma, she is always trying to put some meat into my meal. And I need to convince her like all the time that, grandma, really, I don't like it. I don't want to eat it. And that's the biggest problem, I think, that I can't eat everywhere, and I have to pay attention to what's inside some meals, because even when I'm going to the restaurant and I want to order soup, I need to, check if there's a meat inside or not. So that's the problem, I think. Like that's the biggest problem, I think, for me. And there's a lot of advantages, like, for example, I felt better. That's the first one. I feel better. My health is better. I'm not that sleepy anymore. I think that I have more energy. I noticed that because I started being a vegetarian when I was my studies. So I was not in the need to have a nap after coming back from the university, you know? And really, I was more productive. But like I told you before, it depends on the human. And I am aware that not everyone can become a vegetarian, even when it comes to health, right? We need to listen to our body, like I told you. And the other advantages is that it makes me cook. I find out more about other cuisines, species, and ingredients. And I think that veggie kitchen is like that you need to be more creative.
So, thank you very much for sharing with us your knowledge. It was a very inspiring conversation. Once again, our guest was Martyna Rabus, pharmacy student and a vegetarian from Poland. If you're interested in next episodes, please check out our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify and YouTube channel at Talks in the Park. See you guys in the next one.